Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney. It's Monday, August 17th, and this is your afternoon edition with the top headlines from WKYC.com and our WKYC app. Thank you for joining me here to get up to date on everything you need to know about what's impacting you in Northeast Ohio. First up, in just a moment, we'll get into the latest COVID-19 numbers from the Ohio Department of Health with some good numbers to report today. Definitely some numbers that are moving in the positive direction, at least for today. Then we will talk about meteorologist Al Roker and his time here at WKYC. Yes, right here at Channel 3 for 5 years, he worked with our very own Leon Bibb. They had a chance to talk over Zoom, so we'll tell you about that. Also, the drama continues in the Cleveland baseball organization. We'll tell you what some teammates said about Zach Plesac and Mike Clevinger related to them breaking those COVID-19 protocols in Chicago 2 weekends ago. Plus, a very cool thing that is coming to the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds and how you can celebrate Cleveland Burger Week. That's happening today through Sunday. We'll let you know what you definitely do not want to miss out on. First up, let's take a look at those latest numbers of COVID-19 from the Ohio Department of Health. Just out this afternoon, the cases, new daily reported cases, are below 1,000 and relatively well below 1,000. And that's something we have not seen much of in the past month, so that's positive news. Also, new daily reported deaths are in the single digits after we had a big day for reported deaths over the weekend. So in the last 24 hours, there have been 775 new reported cases of COVID-19. That brings our total number here in Ohio to almost 110,000. We are now at 109,062 known cases of COVID-19. Now that dates all the way back to March 9th when we first learned of COVID-19 being here in Ohio. According to the Ohio Department of Health, 80.5% of those cases are presumed to be recovered. So that number keeps ticking up. We've seen that tick up. Now we're seeing for the first time that it's over 80% of those cases presumed to be recovered. So that's also positive news. Now, in the last 24 hours, there have been 6 new deaths reported. That brings the total number of deaths reported here in Ohio related to COVID-19 to now 3,832. In the last 24 hours, this is the data that's more real-time data, the number of hospitalizations and ICU admissions. In the last 24 hours, there have been 83 new hospitalizations reported, and there are now currently 933 people in the hospital right now. That's up from 23. That's up 23 from what we saw on Sunday. On Sunday, there were 23 less people currently in the hospital. Now, there are currently 316 people in the ICU. So that's out of those 933 who are currently in the hospital. And in the last 24 hours, we've seen 15 new ICU admissions. The Ohio Department of Health has also started to report the current hospital bed occupancy rate. So here in Ohio, it's now at 72%. This is also positive news. That's a decrease from last week. Last week, we were in the 74 to 77% range. So what that means is 28% of hospital beds are available for people who need treatment for COVID-19 or who might need treatment for anything else that would require that they be admitted to the hospital. Now let's take a look at the national and the global numbers of COVID-19. These numbers come from Johns Hopkins University. Here in the U.S., now the total number of reported cases of COVID-19 is 5,416,639. And the total number of deaths in the U.S. related to COVID-19 is now 170,194. Globally, the total number of known COVID-19 deaths is nearing 22 million. That number is now 21,755,069. And the total number of deaths globally related to COVID-19 that we know about is now 776,469. Again, those numbers come from Johns Hopkins University. Now we're going to switch gears and talk about the sports world and the continuing drama in the Cleveland baseball organization. Apparently, pitchers Mike Clevinger and Zach Plesac were scolded in a meeting on Friday. Now this all dates back to 2 weekends ago when both Plesac and Clevinger broke Major League Baseball and team protocols and left the hotel, went out to dinner with some friends, according to what they say happened. If you remember, people found out that Plesac broke curfew and he was sent back to Cleveland in a car. But Clevinger did not initially reveal that he was also with Plesac. So he stayed in Chicago and he rode the plane home with the team. And a lot of people were talking about how that was an issue, especially because that was exposing potentially the team to anything they had been exposed of outside of the team hotel, including Carlos Carrasco, who recently underwent treatment for leukemia, placing him in the high-risk category for someone who might contract COVID-19. They might experience more serious symptoms. Well, according to ESPN's Jeff Passan, there was a meeting on Friday where players scolded Clevinger and Plesac. And one of the most vocal critics at that meeting was star shortstop Francisco Lindor. Now, Lindor has definitely come forward as a leader among the clubhouse during this health crisis and everything that's been happening in the baseball world. Passan also said that lefty relief pitcher Oliver Perez was prepared to leave the team and opt out of the remainder of the season if Clevinger and Plesac were kept on the active roster. Now, there were some teammates who were in support of Clevinger and Plesac, but the people who were speaking out against it were apparently strong enough that the team made the decision. It was just a couple hours later that Clevinger and Plesac were sent down to the alternate training facility in Eastlake. Now, one of the things that was brought up at the team was Clevinger initially lying about being out with Plesac, and also that video that Plesac posted on Instagram, which he captioned not an apology, where he said that he was sharing the truth of what happened. But throughout that video, he talks about following CDC guidelines rather than Major League Baseball and team guidelines. He did later delete that video, but apparently the damage was done. Definitely a trust issue there among the teammates. Plutko even said in a press conference as well, he said publicly that they are going to have to figure out what they need to do in order to re-earn the trust of the team. So apparently they were scolded in that team meeting, and that preceded them being sent to that alternate training facility at Eastlake. Switching gears again to another topic, Al Roker, who we're used to seeing on the Today Show, the meteorologist, he talks about his time in Cleveland with our very own Leon Bibb. They chatted over Zoom about the 5 years that he spent at WKYC before going to New York and then eventually becoming a part of the Today Show. This is all in his latest book, You Look So Much Better in Person, True Stories of Absurdity and Success. So Al was the weather person when Leon was the anchor here, and they both lived in Shaker Heights, and they shared a story about riding the RTA Rapid together from Shaker Heights to downtown Cleveland and back almost every day. Leon said he hated to get off of the Rapid, and when they were on the train, they talked to everyone, and sometimes Al would do a comedy routine for the people who were on the train. Leon said that Al was the comic and he was the straight man to Al Roker. Al said, "I'm the Ed McMahon to Johnny Carson. I'm Carl Reiner to Sid Caesar." And that brought up a memory for Al Roker, who of course has had an incredible career. Al said in the same day, he interviewed Betty White, Carl Reiner, and Dick Van Dyke. All of those incredible names just in one day. If you want to hear more incredible stories, you can see that full conversation on WKYC.com and in our WKYC app. And you can also get Al Roker's new book, You Look So Much Better in Person, True Stories of Absurdity and Success. That's available where you get your books, also available at Amazon, Target, and Barnes & Noble. Here's another pretty cool thing happening here in Cleveland. There's a group called Parking Lot Social, and they are bringing a tour to the Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds. So this will include drive-in movies, comedy shows, and concerts. This will be in Berea starting on Wednesday. They have 9 events planned Wednesday through Sunday. A comedy show. They're doing something called karaoke, obviously a play on the word karaoke there, having a bingo event, live bands, there will be a silent disco. There will also be screening films in the evenings. Those start kind of later in the evenings, 11 o'clock or so. Dirty Dancing and The Purge, also Grease will be screening. If you want to get in, tickets start at $39 per car, and you can buy those online. They have contactless ticket scanning, and also they will have cashless concession vendors on site there as well. We've got all of that information on WKYC.com and the WKYC app linked for you. Something else you need to know about this week, it's Cleveland Burger Week. That also runs through Sunday. That starts today, runs through Sunday. And there are 30 restaurants in the area that have $6 burgers in honor of Burger Week. You can get a burger passport as well. You can get that at any of the locations, or you can get it online. And if you get 5 stamps, so if you have 5 burgers this week, you are eligible for a special grand prize that involves a grill and an ultimate grill out. You can learn more about that as well on WKYC.com. People that are participating include Bearden's and Gunzelman's, Ninja City, and the Nano Brew. There are locations on the east, west, and the south sides of Cleveland. This is a great opportunity to maybe get creative, try something new. You can barely get a burger for $6 from a fast food joint these days, so it's a pretty good deal to be able to grab one for $6 from these maybe a little bit fancier places. You can try something new. You could get your fried pickles and hot sauce aioli. There's an option for that at Southern Tier. You can also get a well-done egg on a burger at Team's, or some smoked Gouda and tomato jam at Fast Eddie's. And of course, at Bearden's, they have a burger with peanut butter on it, so you can check that out as well. And lots of places have vegetarian or vegan substitutes as well. My personal favorite is the Impossible Burger. There are lots of places that you can get the Impossible Burger around town. My personal favorite is Lago in the Flats East Bank. Delicious. They have an incredible aioli on it. Never disappoints. We do want to see your burgers if you're eating out for Cleveland Burger Week. So you can share those with us through Near Me on the WKYC app. Very easy to do. Just open the app, tap on Near Me, and you'll see all the prompts to submit. You'll see success, and then you'll know that we've got it. You can also text us a picture to 216-344-3300, or if you're posting on social media, use the hashtag Cleveland Burger Week, and also use the hashtag #BeOn3. We would love to showcase your burgers throughout the week, celebrate some fine dining here in the land. That's it for your 3 News Now afternoon update for Monday, August 17th. I will see you next on What's New at 5 p.m. with your trending stories in the Clicking in Cleveland segment. You can also watch that on the WKYC app. When you open the app, just tap on Watch. You'll see the live broadcast from 5 to 6 p.m. today, and you can do that anytime our broadcasts are on the air to watch us live for free in the WKYC app. Everyone enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'll see you at 5 on What's New, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for 3 News Now. I'm Stephanie Haney.